giving over and over of your time and energy to people, which is, it can be fun in the honeymoon stage. But after longevity sets
urban plunge.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to say welcome to Common Ground Church and Community. I am Pastor John Perkins, lead pastor of Common Ground Covenant Church in Jackson, Mississippi. And I have the wonderful opportunity to be here with my friends.
I'm Harvey Kozar, pastor, Hope City Covenant Church in Richmond, Kentucky.
Andrew Morrell, Real Community Covenant Church in Marion, Indiana.
Mike Thomas, pastor of Radiant Church, Seattle, Washington.
John Teeter, Fountain of Life Covenant Church and executive director of Fountain of Life Antioch in Long Beach, California.
David Washington, founder of Kingdom Covenant Church, senior pastor of Kingdom Covenant Church, Chicago, right here in Rose.
So what's the most difficult part of urban church planting? I mean, you guys are in the thick of it, but what would you say is the most difficult?
I think the most difficult challenge is sustainability. And I don't mean that with finances, I mean that with people. So folks who aren't in urban ministry think it's sexy. They think it's like a movie. They don't know it's grit and grind every day. So my wife Becky always says, we don't win people to Christ easy. We have to fight for everybody.
Yeah.
And even if you do win them, because of the turmoil or lack of stability in the lives of the disciples, really good kingdom work can quote unquote seem like it's not taking. Or so we like to say urban ministry can feel a lot more like a colander than a bowl.
That's good.
That's our greatest challenge. I think it's much easier when you're dealing with stable, elite people. They're not going anywhere.
Right.
But no, I think we all feel that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think it's just that constantly dying to self and giving up yourself and your time over and over again that can be draining, and at times you kind of do feel spent because of your pouring into people, and you think, well, if I had the spiritually mature, again, economically sustained, or this, it would, but you're this giving over and over of your time and energy to people, which is, it can be fun in the honeymoon stage. But after longevity sets
urban plunge.
Yeah. And just give it time. You can get weary.
I hate the vulnerability of it. I hate the vulnerability of being small. And what I mean by that, and I'll admit, and you can keep this on the record, that could be even something within my own flesh of just feeling like, because you're so fragile, you have to be more careful than I think I normally would if there was not the issues of sustainability or both in people and finances. And so just kind of like, I feel like it's in a way of playing the game of a certain amount of safety. You have to start all over again, especially for me in a new city. So you have to reconnect with the established churches. You can't do things in the city without kissing the ring, going through the political red tape. And part of the reason why I did church planting is to get away from the political red tape, but yet it still finds you because you're vulnerable. Your reputation is everything. So how the energy you got to exhort in protecting that, and at the same time as God is using you, how do you make sure it doesn't come off as being intimidating to solve? You know what I'm saying? It's just it's the vulnerability stuff that I hate, and I think those are sometimes intangibles that we don't know how to articulate. And so sometimes those are things that we feel, but we never talk about. But yeah, that's one of the things that's kind of frustrating.
That's good.
It requires deep faith. The urban context requires deep faith. And we live in a culture that values and idolizes the American dream as a tangible reality for many people. but not for all people.
Mm.
And so anytime you live in a society that values bigger, why does the megachurch exist?
Mm.
You know, Walmart. Why is Walmart such a hot commodity in America? This goes against the grain of the gospel.
Mm.
But yet, in America, it's tough.
Supersize me.
It's supersized me, right? And so this isn't sexy. This isn't popular.
But you are sexy.
Yeah, thank you. And so there's one
Thanks for
part,
that
right?
clarity.
T-shirt.
And so with that, you don't get the marketers, right? Look at the church planting books. Look at the resources for church planting. They're not geared for the urban church context.
Say it again.
And so there's a reason behind that.
Mm.
And so you don't get these tangible results. You don't have these markers the markers that they give you in church planting are not the markers that you can apply to the urban context.
Wow.
Are you saying that one of the markers isn't that your shirt smells like alcohol?
Absolutely, right?
You got tears on your neck Sunday morning. That should be a marker.
Yeah.
That should be a marker.
You know, we're looking at converts.
Do you
This is
smell like
how many
sheep?
people are converted, right?
Smell like
Well,
sheep. Well, you
that should be
did.
a marker.
With the sheep.
You know, well, some of these people are in contract.
That's killer.
They're hungry.
Amen.
They don't even want. People want to see Jesus. They don't want to hear about Jesus anymore.
Wow.
They want to see Jesus.
Wow.
And so this is a totally different mindset, and it's not popular, right? Going and just telling people about Jesus, they want to see Jesus,
Amen.
and then they might be able to hear Jesus.
Wow.
And so then also, if the urban church is designed to always need the suburban church.
Oh, wow.
So then, if the urban church succeeds, then what are the suburban churches going to do?
Mm.
I need to say something really quick to what you just said something really powerful, man.
Mm.
A good friend of ours who's a local pastor here, who recently spoke, basically challenged the urban church that maybe in God's sovereignty, the fact that you are so bloated is to be the pipeline for those that are in the urban areas. That's your purpose. You got more money than you know what to do with. So instead of spending $100,000 a year on stage props, maybe you can fund the urban church that's preaching the gospel to people you could never reach, and let it be sustainable.
But I don't see that happen.
Well, we're not saying that. That's the issue. That's why
I
it's a
hear
challenge.
pastors say that all the time, and what do?
They don't
They
do anything.
remodel the building that they remodeled 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're in a school.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
What's wrong with this picture?
And then also with the urban multi-ethnic context, if this church succeeds,
Oh, come on now.
then this must expose some racial history in the church that we're not quite ready to deal with yet.
That's real, brother.
And are we willing and are we ready to repent? Is the larger church, the church with the power and control for all these years, willing and ready to repent for what they've been doing for all these years?
That's real.
That's big.
I ask these questions simultaneously. And I guess you were getting to it. You're starting to get to it. What is it that you want to say to people who are on the fringe, who are really just now beginning to open their eyes to what's really happening? The second question is to the person who has church planting in their heart, and yet, urban church planting may not be, what's in their heart. What do you have to say to that person as well?